can feel it down in my plums. When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in.
Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch, an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Great Productions. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Robbie. And on this week, we welcome the start of summer. And the winner of this week's poll was the 1993 comedy Dazed and Confused, written and directed by Richard Linklater, our second film by Dickie Link. Dazed and Confused stars Jason London, Wiley Wiggins, Matthew McConaughey, Rory Cochrane, Joey Lauren Adams, Milla Jovovich, Adam Goldberg, Sasha Jensen, Michelle Burke, Cole Hauser, Parker Posey, and Ben Affleck. Alongside me is the cousin Benny. How we doing?
Doing pretty good, man. How are you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. And alongside Benny and I, good friend, and one of our co-hosts, Ryan. How we feeling?
Check you later.
That's not really a feeling, but all right, I get
Nah. Wait, oh no, I got a better one. That's how I'm feeling.
it. Nice.
So like Robbie said, this is Let the Boys Watch. And we typically, not always, but typically watch movies that one or all of us haven't seen yet. I believe Benny is the one who hasn't seen this one.
I've not
Nice.
seen it.
We pick some kind of a theme, throw it up for a vote on Instagram. About, I don't know, 8% of you that view it actually vote. But the people that did vote voted in, like Robbie said, Dazed and Confused, Over Weekend at Bernie's, and what was the other one?
A Wet Hot American Summer.
Wet Hot American Summer, which understandable, but I like Wet Hot. It would have been nice to watch that. Anyway, before we get into talking about the movie, couple things. One, join the conversation. Send us an email or DM on Instagram. Email and Instagram links both in the show notes. You can also, rate this show 5 stars, preferably. Nah, not for me. Shout out. And Benny has another way for you to kind of get involved and talk to us.
Yeah, we would love for you to follow us on YouTube at Let the Boys Watch. We're throwing up full episodes on YouTube with a little bit more pizzazz than just the old ripped Zoom call. So please join us there, follow, subscribe, give the videos a thumbs up, leave a comment. We would really appreciate the feedback and the engagement on YouTube. So yeah, follow us on YouTube.
Yeah, follow us there. Instagram, like I said, follow us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It helps us out and keeps us going.
Keeps the lights on, as they say.
Keeps the lights on. And
keeps the ACs running.
That's right. And as we all know before the show started, I'm a poor, so I need this engagement.
Please save Ryan. Save Ryan. He's got 2 kids.
Yeah. So we have a couple of usual segments, but we always start with, going into this, for those of us that haven't seen the film, what'd you think? Did you, Benny, have any preconceived notions about this? Did you want to see it? What were you thinking going into watching this?
I had no preconceived notions. I was expecting it to be a very good movie. Obviously, the only thing I knew from this movie is McConaughey. How could you not? That's one of the things that have kind of gone into pop culture, is the all right, all right, all right. The line about the high school girls. But other than that, I really had no expectations, other than it seemed like a lot of people like this movie. We've had emails written to us with this movie specifically called out. We put it up for the polls for a couple times, and it always got a decent amount of votes. And this time it blew the other 2 movies out of the water. So I was expecting big things.
Yeah. Now, Robbie, how long has it been since you've watched this, or have you watched it fairly recently?
I don't know. Maybe within the past 5 years, I think. I do remember watching it. I feel like when I was in maybe ninth grade or eighth grade, going into ninth grade, my freshman year. So it was nice to fire it back up again. Started a free trial of MGM Plus. Hopefully, I don't forget about that in a couple weeks and get a recurring charge. But yeah, I was excited to watch it and see if it still held up and still had the nostalgia factor in it. And nothing corny or anything like that. But I was just wanted to see if everything did hold up. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of same. I saw it probably around the same time as you, like sometime in high school initially. And then I yeah, I think I watched it within the past 5-ish years, 5, 10 years, something like that. And I mean I watched it a bunch of times. Um, high school, college was one of my faves. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm curious what everyone thinks. So let's get into overall impressions. Does anyone want to start?
I'll sit back on this one.
All right. Robbie, you want to go or you want me to?
Oh, you can go.
All right. Um, well, like Robbie and I both said, we watched it in high school, college, I'm sure a number of times. Um, I think it also helps while we weren't um we weren't high school kids in the 70s. I think a lot of the themes and a lot of the um like parts of this slice of life, this coming of age movie, still resonates with kids of our age group as well. Just because so much of it is just like nothing's happening and then something happens. Like, just driving around trying to find where your friends are, going to get something to eat, going to wherever the pool in their case, like the pool hall or whatever, just being destructive, throwing shit. So I think that still resonates with our generation. I don't know if it would as much with like anyone younger than us, maybe like 10 years and younger, just because like I don't think they ever had or rarely had the experience of being teenagers and not being able to get connected with everyone via cell phones or social
Yeah.
media, where we didn't. There was, as we were getting into high school, pagers and cell phones started coming around, but it still was, there was a lot of like, let's go here, let's check out this, let's go drink in a field, that kind of stuff. And I just remember really enjoying it, thinking it was really funny, enjoyable, loving I mean, there's no real plot. It's just like kids hanging out. And, as a teen slash 20-year-old occasional pot smoker slash drinker, I got it. Like, I know, shaking your head.
Unbelievable.
Occasional, occasional.
Unbelievable.
I'm trying to keep it clean here.
Still
So,
to this day, please.
um,
What were you putting out on the desk before we started the show?
um, my grinder. Nah. Um, so I mean, it was one of those films that like it it was very good. It was very funny. It was one of those that like, oh, you haven't seen it, you should watch it. We should, roll a J and watch it or whatever. Um, Watching it now, I still enjoyed it, but I definitely didn't enjoy it as much as I did when I was younger. Again, because there was no plot, but to be fair, I did still really enjoy it. The soundtrack's fantastic. I love most of the actors and the characters and everything. So I'm glad we watched this one. Curious what you guys think.
I'll go next. I think that this movie stunk. I did not like this movie at all.
I
From
knew it.
beginning to end, I was just not into this movie. I could not wait for it to end. There was no plot. There was just absolute ridiculous. Like the first half of the movie is essentially like beat 'em up porn. Like kids just getting beat the shit out of by older kids, which is, I don't know, maybe I'm a little triggered because I was kind of always teased as a kid, and I hated that behavior and like that bully shit, even if it was, they had those moments of, all right, you paid your dues, now we're going to be your friend, but still, there was so much of that to start the movie. It was like an hour's worth of stuff is them just beating the shit out of the freshmen. Um, I don't know, man. There was never any I mean, what was coherent when you were that age, right? Like you were just kind of out floating around and like just acting on pure impulse, which this movie kind of captured. But man, from the way people spoke so highly about this movie to what this movie actually was, it just did not do it for me at all. Obviously, I'm not super up on Richard Linklater. Like, I mean, I maybe have seen more of his movies than I thought. It's just not a name that sticks out to me other than School of Rock. And I think School of Rock is like a 50 times better movie than this. It's just not, this was not for me. Maybe if I saw it during that time, Ryan, because I'm sure, you know, we had similar high school experiences. But yeah, in 2024, in my first viewing, this did not live up to any sort of hype for me.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the movies that were, I guess, stoner movies, if you either watch them now or watch them for the first time, it's like, what? I don't get it. Like, why do people love this? But
yeah, I mean, like there are redeeming qualities about the movie, like as far as portraying that time. I thought they did very good. I loved all the um the mannerisms and that whole 70s vibe with the man and all that kind of stuff. Like it, even though we're not from that time, it still felt nostalgic in that way, where like I feel like they did such a good job with that, and just the wardrobe, like you said, Ryan, the music. um but yeah, as a whole, it just didn't do it for me.
there, Robbie.
It's a shame. That's a big shame. I don't know what to say. For me, it's still held up. For me, it takes me back to the feelings that I got when I was the last day of school and what that feeling was and how exciting that was. And,
The best.
you had the whole entire summer ahead of you and so many endless possibilities. I think everybody could put their shoes in, an eighth grader going up to the high school and the fear of the unknown and not knowing what's going to happen. And, I don't know if Ryan remembers, but I mean, we had the anticipation of Freshman Friday in our school
Yep.
where we would be so scared that we were just going to get freaking destroyed, thrown into the lockers or punch something like that. Lucky for me, I was friends with some kids that had some older brothers and I had cousins and stuff like that in school. And so, I was spared maybe a couple punches, but I don't know. That's what the movie takes back. I mean, the soundtrack, iconic. Forget about it. I mean, song after song, hit after hit. I think they spent the majority of the budget on the music. I love the acting. I mean, so many fantastic actors that obviously went on to do bigger and better things. I mean, the cast is loaded. Love the time frame. 76, obviously, with the 200th year anniversary looming of the founding of America. That was cool. So I don't know, man. It's it's a movie with no plot, just a movie of the last day of school and hijinks ensues. I don't think you really need a super duper plot for this type of movie. I think it works really well. Um, it's just I don't think it needs to be nostalgic. I think we've all experienced like I said, the last day of school and what that feels like moving up, if into the high school or from going from a junior to a senior, and what's that like, and no responsibilities, no technology, just you and your friends, causing ruckus, doing stupid things. I mean, how many times did I fake dead at 7-Eleven when I was 16, 17? I mean, endless times. So what's fun is that trying to get beer and things like that, and you know just dumb shit that we did just to not get in trouble. I mean, that's what this movie is to me. I mean, I feel like everybody can kind of relate to that movie because we all have that kind of feeling and nostalgic feeling of graduating and summer looming and moving up to the high school or becoming a senior. It's like that's what this movie's about to me, and trying to fit in with the cool kids. Yeah, the hazing and stuff like that. I mean, that's what it was. It's only now where that's looked down upon, and obviously it's ridiculous and it shouldn't happen. But that was a time frame. What can we do? I could see you looking at it at 2024 lens, so I understand, but I don't know. The movie is more of evoking feelings of, to me, than kind of plots and things like that. It's something that I think all of us have gone through, and we kind of can look back on those days as some of the best days of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get all that, and I just it just felt like there was a lot of like negative emotions in this movie, and maybe that's me bringing my personal experiences into it, but like just how like irredeemable some of those senior characters were, that it was just like, dude, what, like, this kid's like 13 years old, like, let it go. Like, what are you chasing him all around in a car and just like absolutely destroying them? um I wish there was less of that. If there was less of that, like, I did enjoy, like you said, kind of the hijinks and the party getting canceled and then another one kind of materializing out of nowhere. Like, that felt, fun. That was the fun part of the movie. But it was just, there was so much bad energy from me in the first like 50 minutes of the movie that I was just kind of like, ugh, I'm over this one. And I went in with this one with such good vibes too, because the first thing that popped up on the screen was May 28th, 1976, and I was watching it on May 28th. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Like, this is it's meant to be that I'm watching it on the exact day that the movie supposedly takes place. And yeah, it didn't end that way for me.
Interesting. I'm not surprised, to be honest, but interesting. Um, I agree with Robbie. Like, last day of school, the best. And I don't know. It's funny. Like, um, did you guys happen to watch any of like the deleted scenes?
No.
It was like someone made the decision to, I feel, made the decision to make this into more of like stoner comedy instead of like more existential. Because a lot of the deleted scenes were like talking very like globally and like about existence and thinking about like, other kids in other towns are doing this stuff just like us. Like, a lot of the deleted scenes were like that kind of stuff. um there was also one deleted scene that was pretty rough. I'm glad they cut that one out. Um, but yeah, I really think this is a big like when you saw it movie. Um, and because Robbie and I both saw it early, we kind of related to it more as teenagers versus as an older middle-ish aged gentleman
Yeah.
such as
Goody
yourself.
two shoes, middle-aged goody two shoes, they say.
They call me Mr. Perfect.
Oh. Um, nice. Should we do some plum scores and then get into some other movie talk?
Yeah, let Benny give a 4.6 and get it out of the way.
All right, I will go first, and I'm not going to give it a 4.6. I'm going to give it a 5.5. It is taking over my lowest score ever. But like I said, there are things about this movie that I do appreciate, and anything under 5 to me is bad. And
Right.
I don't necessarily think this movie was bad. It just wasn't for me. I just didn't see what everybody saw in it. Anything under like probably 4 or 3 for me is going to be like irredeemable and just horrible. This was not that. Like I said, you could tell the level of effort that was put into this movie. There were good performances, but there were just a lot of characters that just were, like I said before, irredeemable for me. It just brought up bad feelings in me. And like, I don't know. There was no, for me, like I get why there's like no plot in this movie. Like, it's just showing kind of like, it, like you said, slice of life, day in the life. But if it didn't, if it didn't have that, then I wanted other things that I just wasn't getting. Some of the jokes didn't land for me. um I don't know, I felt like it was a little try hard in some spots. And but I'm not going to say it's a terrible movie. Like I said, and I am seeing it with 2024 eyes and putting my own stuff into this. But yeah, I'll go 5.5 because I don't want to completely trash it, but I can't put it above any of the other movies we watched.
Did you ever get paddled, Benny? Is that why?
I did, but I got my ass kicked quite a few times.
Really?
So yeah,
Shit.
yeah. I mean, someone once we were playing football in in like a backyard, and I caught the ball, and someone like pushed me, and I went through a bush and ejected out onto a street that was right next door. I survived. Yeah, I was in ICU for a while, but you know,
I mean,
just
I don't
that was
think you
just
did if it's
just
triggering you.
just a day in the life. No, I'm teasing, but yeah, no, definitely got into my fair share of fights at that age, and had a lot of bullies on my case in my town.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Robbie,
Anyway,
you want?
you have to, either you sink or swim. And if you want to play, uh, tackle football in the backyard with a couple of bulldozers, then I mean, it just is what it is. I don't know, I don't know if you wanted to play, and I wasn't there, but I'm just saying, I don't know if you wanted to play two-hand touch. I'm sure they would have played two-hand touch, but I think that, back in that time frame, it would just like tackle football when men were men.
You know what I think too? Like, I don't even think it was tackle. I think it was two-hand touch. And I think by the definition of the rules of two-hand touch, it was a clean hit. It just may have went a little too far. But hey, you know what I always learned? Don't ever let them see that it hurt you. And I just popped back up. And then you know what I did? I scored a touchdown next.
Nice.
That might not be true, but
And then 20 years later,
we'll
you talked
pretend it
about it on
is.
the podcast. But, that's what it is. Listen, I know that I know guys like that, and that guy probably didn't do it on purpose.
No, he didn't. And that's not the person that I'm talking about. So it was just a little anecdote that I was throwing in there.
I'm sure after that, you guys went into an apartment, maybe had some spaghetti and meatballs, and LOL
Yeah,
to the cows came home. I'm sure that
for
guy,
sure.
for some reason, I feel like that guy that you're talking about definitely went 17 hours to a wedding in Manila.
Hey, water under the bridge, babe. Water under the bridge to that guy, wherever he is.
Wherever
When
he
I see.
is. Love that guy. Wherever he is, shout out. So I'm gonna give it an 8.2. Obviously, I really enjoyed this movie. I think for what it is, it's great. Obviously, it's funny because I was listening to the rewatchables, no free ads, but Bill Simmons was talking about, they were watching, I guess, Fast Times, and he was talking about, I don't know if it was a study, something like that, saying how, people who watch these type of movies at like a younger age, like always like view it better than others who have just seen movies, like for instance what Benny just said. And I think that's so true for everything that we watch, even all the nostalgia movies that we watch here, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead and things like that. I've always gotten good scores out of me because you remember a time and place when you saw it. So I definitely understand that. But yeah. Do I think it was as great as when I watched it the first couple of times? Yeah, when I was younger? No. Some parts are very boring. Some things get a little tiresome, but I do enjoy this movie. I do enjoy where it takes me, the place where it takes me, the nostalgia, like I said, remembering a time in my life where it was just, no rules, just right, and things like that. So it was just a fun time in my life, and I definitely enjoyed that time period where there was no technology and no things like that. It was just you and your friends playing two-hand touch, not tackling anybody too hard, and things like that. So that's why I enjoy this movie. I enjoy the characters, and I just enjoy that kind of time frame before the boomers took over and destroyed the economy.
Nice.
So 8.2 for me.
Nice. Good score. I think I'm kind of in that same realm, Robbie, but I think I gave it a little bit lower than you, but I feel the same way. Like if we were, the first podcast ever and did this, many years ago, I probably would have given it, yeah, definitely in the eights. I really liked this film back in the day, but yeah, now watching it, Benny hit on a few things. I'm sure we'll probably get into it, but like the hazing is just out of control. Like, come on. And just like generally, like it's a fun watch. It's one of those like lazy, rainy Sunday morning. Like I could watch this just laying on the couch. I mean, I am not able to watch movies on the couch anymore, but if I could, that's the type of movie this is. Like, get up, go do something for 10 minutes. You miss half of it. Like, who gives a shit? It's a fun movie. It's not the best movie, but I'm gonna give it just like the year it was filmed in a 7.6. So, good score. Again, I like it, but eh,
I
not as
feel
good
like
as I
too.
used to.
I feel like too for me with the hazing, and I'll drop it after this. But there's like those rules of comedy where it's like it's either taken too seriously or so over the top that
Yeah.
becomes funny, or like with a joke where it's like you say it once, it's funny. You say it a second time, it's a little less funny. Third time, all right, it's getting old. But then you keep going. It like the vomit scene in Team America, where it comes back around like the longer it goes. And I feel like if maybe the the hazing was a little more over the top, like this is clearly meant as a joke, but it just felt so, I don't know, it felt so real and like so mean spirited that it like just gave me bad feelings.
Yeah. Well, I think it was. I mean, I don't think it was supposed to be funny at all. I think it was like depicting life for many people during that time. I mean, Robbie was talking about Freshman Friday. Like a lot of towns did shit like this because they just always did. And like the main driver for these kids that are becoming seniors is basically, well, they did it to me, so I'm gonna do it to these
Yeah.
motherfuckers. And like that's the main driver. Like, I don't know if, some of them, I'm sure, like an O'Banion type probably wanted to beat up on little kids to make themselves feel big, but like then you have other guys like Pink that thought it was like stupid or whatever. But there was a number of them that was like it was almost comical, like you're saying, that it was just like, why are you so into this? But
Yeah.
that's just, I mean, that's how fucking people were. I don't know if they still are in some areas of the country, but whatever. I don't know. All right. What do you guys feel like doing? Scenes or characters?
Let's do scenes.
All right. Let's do favorite scenes first. Um, Robbie, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure, I can go.
Go ahead.
My favorite scene. This is tough. Darn it. Um, Let me go. David Wooderson's introduction. Um, I love it because if you know me, I do love let's say I do love a scene where they're talking and a door opens or something bursts in and then boom, slow motion montage, music hits. I mean, I love shit like that. And of course they pick a absolutely fantastic song to do it with Bob Dylan. It's Hurricane. I mean, I love that song. And it's just McConaughey, top notch. I mean, I think this might have been his first role. I'm not sure, or something, obviously early in his career. But I mean, I'm not thinking about, you know, the creepiness of his character. And, he's probably like 20 years old trying to pick up high school chicks, you know, throw it out the window. I'm just talking about the iconic scenes of him coming up there. And I just love a quick slow motion montage with the music. I mean, that was fantastic. I love that. It was it's just cool. And, iconic character for this movie. I mean, to this day, people love his character. And I just love that scene. I just like the way it was done. Give me slow motion. Give me a fantastic, soundtrack behind it, and I'm all in. Doesn't matter what it is. So I'll do that. There's probably plenty more, but that really caught my attention this time around.
Nice. Um, all right, I'll go next. I'm gonna go with the beer blast at the moon tower. That whole scene, I mean, just if you haven't drank beers in a field with a bunch of other high schoolers when you were in high school, then man, you missed out because that was some of the funnest times, whether it was a field or just a parking lot or like wherever, anywhere that you could congregate with a bunch of people from school and not get harassed by adults or the cops or whomever was a good time. And just, I mean, so many fun, like, I don't want to say interesting, but like, I guess interesting for lack of a better word, things happened during that. You have the whole, like, there's the fight, there's, Pink and what's her name, sneaking off, and like the conversations that people are having, like Tony and um I forget her name. But yeah, I just loved that it all came together, and it's just funny how, word spreads. It was what always tripped me up or like made me laugh about something like this is thinking about back in the day when we were in high school, like, why didn't we just do that all the time? Like, because I mean, maybe some people did, but there was so many nights where you just like, we're just sitting around. Like, what are we doing? I don't know. Should we go get food? I don't know, whatever. But like, same thing in this movie. Like, the party got canceled, so no one knows what to do. Why wasn't this like one of the first things someone thought of? Like,
Yeah.
well, no one's gonna harass us in that field. Let's go there. I don't know. It's funny that it took like all that time to get to that.
I know. I forgot about that and how much it felt like Bergen or Van Borgendine doing stuff like that. I mean, stuff like that. It was just the best. I mean, it
The
was either
best.
that or just filming stupid videos of us, picking up people's garbage pails after work, after school, and launching him into a different street. I mean,
Yeah.
that's something that my dumb ass didn't, stupid. But hey, young kids, man, young and dumb.
Yeah. Full of rum.
Fun. My favorite scene, I'm gonna go a little more uh into your scene, Ryan, but talk about the Mike Newhouse, played by Adam Goldberg, the him getting harassed by, I think his name was Clint.
Yes.
And then that moment of him being like, I'm gonna do something about this because I know I'm gonna keep looking back the rest of my life. And this is one of those clips in time where you're like, I wish I just would have did this one thing. And then he goes back and he socks him right, dumps the beer on him and punches him in the face. And I think if you go back in time and you were at that party and you remember that, that's what you're gonna remember. Is he got it? The Clint got the beer poured on him, and then he got punched right in the face. Whatever happened after that didn't matter. Just like he said, the fight took a little bit longer to break up than I'm sure he thought. But I mean that's an impressive move, and I'm glad he followed through on his word. So, and I always like when Adam Goldberg pops up and stuff. He's got such a unique voice and his mannerisms. I think I remember him. I think maybe the thing that's burned into my memory from him is Seinfeld when he was the roommate for a little bit. Not Seinfeld, Friends, when he was Joey's roommate for a little bit, and he was just horrible. Um, but yeah, I always kind of like when Adam Goldberg pops up and stuff.
Yeah, I like them too.
I feel like you want to sock somebody in the head. I think you, Benny. I feel
There's
like it's coming back. I think hopefully it's
I'm
not
telling you,
that
man,
one guy.
you could peel back the layers on this podcast of my reaction to this movie. It's
I
all
hope it's not
there.
that one guy in the backyard
No, no, no. I said
playing touch.
water under the bridge with him. It's for the love of the game, as they say.
All's fair in love and war.
Exactly. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Just live, laugh, love.
No, I think you're right, Benny. I think like if that was real, he would look back and be like, "Yeah, I got my ass kicked, but I stood up for myself." Like, and
Yeah,
feel like proud of himself for doing that instead of not doing nothing.
yeah.
What's that Clint guy was a tool bag.
Such a
Yeah,
tool
like
bag.
chill out, Clint.
The
Jesus.
and the worst portrayal of a stoner ever in a movie where he's like, yeah, I'm a pothead. Like, dude, he'd be like, oh man, yo, what's up, man? Welcome to the party. Not like a freak. He acted like he was on coke, not
Might
weed.
have been. He was an asshole.
Yeah. Ani Mentions, what do you guys got?
Oh, I got the school's out scene. I mean, forget about it. The greatest feeling in the world.
The
I
best.
mean, I would do anything in the world to go back to that feeling. It's the best. Like I said, I probably mentioned it 3 or 4 times in my opening salvo, as they say. But yeah, I just love that. I loved it. It was one of the greatest feelings in the world. Just like I said, school's out. I'm done with it. I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna do stupid shit this summer. Not nothing crazy, but just dumb stuff. And it was the best. And the anticipation of the next year and all those type of things. I mean, what a feeling. As some might say, oh, what a feeling.
I think the closest I've ever gotten to that in real life after school was my last day of work before moving to California. Like mentally, I was just in a bad headspace, and it was part of the reason why I moved to California. And just like being like, okay, I am done with this part of my life, and I'm out of here. And that was like the closest I ever got to like that last day of school feeling.
Yeah. I had that with a shit job that I had, and I got a much better job. And the last day, I was just like, I was so pumped. It was the best. Like, get me out of here. But
I don't
yeah,
know if I
Robbie, I mean, the best feeling, the best. Dumping your
I,
stuff all on the ground because you're
uh,
just like such a piece of crap that you didn't think like someone's gonna have to clean this up.
Yeah.
I think the next time I'll have that feeling is when this podcast ends.
You mean today or forever?
No, when we say cut the cord.
All right, we're done here.
And that's it. I never have to see anybody again. I just, I get a little 1 bedroom apartment by myself and never see anybody again. No, I'm just kidding, please.
I know.
Be the worst day of my life.
I got an honorary mention. And Robbie kind of alluded to it earlier, but the scene with them throwing garbage pails. And I mean, Robbie, I also did that stupid trash like all the time, just being destructive, ruining people's property.
Feel
Like,
so bad.
oh, I feel so bad.
That's why my karma is terrible. Like they come back to get me.
Yeah, maybe. But like, yeah, probably. I mean, maybe. But yeah, I still feel so bad. There's a few things that I'm like, if someone did that to me, I would be so upset. But like, I feel like it's gonna happen one day where some kids just like fuck with my house, and I'm just gonna have to be like, I deserve this.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. We would leave school and I'd be in my Maxima, a couple of friends in the
Nice.
car, and we just would, people still had their pails out. And we would just drive, pick up the pails and just fucking drive like 3 blocks over and then
Oh,
just throw the pails. And even like this is this is gonna happen to me. I know it is, but even if we would drive around again in my Maxima, and we'd be on Third Street, all right, and there's a guy mowing his lawn, just enjoying his time, just relaxing, and we pull the car up to him, honk the horn, and we say, "Excuse me, sir," and he stopped. Stopped mowing his lawn, turned the lawnmower off, came over to help us. And I said, "Do you know how to get to Third Street?" And before he opened his mouth, we just peeled off like stupid things like that.
the best.
Like so stupid. Or
Oh
just
my
driving
God.
around and honking a horn at somebody, and then they look and we wave the opposite way. Like that's the dumbest thing ever. But to us, we were like, yeah, we're the coolest kids ever. And we weren't. We're bozos. And that's gonna come back to me, and I deserve it.
No,
Summer, man.
totally
That's just summer.
same. We did all the same stupid shit, and I still feel bad. And there was always one thing I wanted to mention too is there was always someone who took it too far, like Mitch with the
Always.
bowling ball, and like then it was just like, oh, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
That's what I was
Always.
saying. I remember I was in Target one time and there was this kid just doing stupid stuff. And it irritated me so much. And I'm like, you were doing worse. Chill out, take it easy, guy.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's just the state of, that's just where I'm at in my age.
Yeah. Imagine you like having your garbage pail stolen would suck. They're like $50.
Oh, they stink.
That
I used to
stinks.
get mad
That's
at when I had people drop, their
stuff in your garbage pail.
yeah, their dogs like shitting at my garbage. I'd freak out. Meanwhile, I'm taking their garbage and putting it in 3 towns over.
Yeah, you got off easy on the payback on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Any other Ani matches?
I like the scene when Mitch bought the beer for himself,
That was a
and
good
he's
one.
just reusing all the stories he had from Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Just that confidence that he had, and like that was his. He was in the pocket in that section of the movie, between him buying the beer and then going back into the Emporium and then setting up O'Banion. Like that was his golden era of the movie.
Yeah. I didn't realize until this viewing that he was taking everything McConaughey said and regurgitating it to that guy.
Yeah.
That was one of 2 things I noticed in this film for the first time, and that one was not as stupid. The other one is very stupid.
You're gonna share it now or later?
I'll save it. I'm gonna tease the audience.
All right, good.
Yeah, if you want to hear how dumb I am, keep listening.
Ooh,
Um,
you might have a Ben moment.
yeah. I see. All right, I'll just share it now. I thought that the Dazed and Confused part was because Mitch lost so much blood when he got bit by a dog.
I remember that, yeah. He didn't know where it was.
You son of a b.
I'm trying to think. Any other scenes?
Yeah, I'll go when O'Banion gets his comeuppance.
That was a good one.
Fuck him. Really.
The worst.
The worst. And it made I'm gonna save it. I might not get it, but I'm gonna save it.
All right. I liked a lot of the scenes like in school on the last day, like everyone like screwing around, Gilligan's Island best episodes, like hanging out, smoking in the bathroom, like that was fun to watch. That brought me back to. All right. Should we move on? Least favorite scenes? I think Ben, right? Yes,
I
Ben.
went last.
You went last, so you go first.
I mean, I don't want to do it, but I guess I will. The hazing scene with the girls, I feel like that was the worst one. I mean, even though the guys were getting the shit beaten out of them, like that was just so degrading how they were treating the girls and then making them go on their knees and proposing and just the absolute sexual harassment that was thrown at them by the guys. Just uncomfortable and a step too far. Again, maybe I'm just being a triggered liberal and looking at this in 2024, but that was good. And I think it was after all the stuff with the guys, and it was just piled on to the point where I was like, I'm just so done with this part of the movie. Like, I really hope this pays off in a way that makes all this time worth it. And you got it a little bit where towards the end, they were all like, all right, you paid your dues, and they were buddy buddy, but it was just such a disproportionate amount of the movie that I was just like, it just made me not want to watch anymore.
Yeah. I feel like they absolutely could have cut out some of the hazing and you still would have got the point. Like
once the ketchup came out, I'm like, come on, like leave him alone.
Yeah. I mean, they took him through the car wash. They cleaned him up.
True.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right. I take it back. It's 9.9.
I think what also made it more uncomfortable was like I think there was like 2 points where you're talking about where the girls are just getting harassed by the dudes. The guys, the main actors are like 20 something playing teenagers, and these girls look like they were actually like 8th graders. So it like
Yeah.
made it a little more icky, I think, but I don't
Don't yuck my yum.
know. I'm gonna go, and it was even between one of 2 scenes, and that was one of them, Benny. And the other one is the scene with Mitch when he grabs his nose 40 times outside of the Emporium. It's enraging. Like no one watched these clips and was like, dude, why are you grabbing your nose so much? Like, do that again. I looked it up. It was 13 times. And I think
No.
the scene, the scene I think is like a minute. Like he nonstop grabbed his nose. I don't know what that was about. If he was trying to convey annoyance and he had trouble doing it with his face, maybe the director told him to do that because he couldn't pull off like a annoyed face or something. I have no idea, but it even when I first watched it, when I loved it, when I was probably high as fuck, I hated that scene. Hated it. Robbie.
I'm gonna go with the scene where Mitch gets the beer, but the pregnant lady smoking cigs in
Yes.
the I mean, we all know the effects of that and that poor kid. God knows what happened to that kid when he or she grew up. So yeah, I mean, obviously I know it was a different time period where smoking like that was, wasn't frowned upon, and not wearing your seatbelt wasn't frowned upon. But yeah, I think that was worse than the hazing. So I'm gonna have to go with that because that was kind of triggered me and kind of annoyed me. Even though I'm a big Sig guy, I mean, still that was not my cup of tea.
Huge Newport guy.
Oh, please.
Newport Pleasures,
Oh, enjoy them on a beach,
the racetrack, wherever.
the racetrack, skiing,
At a barbecue.
at the polo grounds. Please forget about it. Water polo,
Wherever you want,
wherever.
except inside.
In Manila, at a wedding,
Nice.
yeah. In the bathroom, in Manila at a wedding.
Hey, I heard that when you're there, you're family, so that tracks.
You are family when you're there.
In the streets of Montreal. Forget about it.
Any honorary mentions from anybody?
I don't really have any least favorite scenes. I mean, nobody really annoyed me too much in this movie. Benny took the hazing scenes already. Some of my stuff was a little too much. Even on like 50th watch. So I don't really have anything else.
Yeah. I would just add on like what Benny was kind of highlighting the girls hazing. But again, I know we've beaten it to death like a ninth grader's butt with a paddle, but like some of those scenes, like they were winding up like they were trying to hit the game-winning home run. Like
I know.
you can't actually hit people like that. Like that's with a big wooden paddle. Like that was fucked up.
And that shop teacher just not doing anything about the fact that these guys are just
well, they were talking Adam Goldberg and Pony, whatever. I don't remember. I'm doing like one actor and one character name, but
I know. New house or whatever.
Yeah, they were talking about how the town just like accepts it. And it's the same as like so many other traditions. Whether it's good or bad, people just hold on to them for whatever their reasoning is. Well, I went through it and I'm okay. Yeah, but that doesn't make it right.
It's America, baby.
That's true. And I heard
love it or leave it.
Freedom isn't free. Well,
I'll tell you something right now. You know it and I know it. Freedom isn't free.
Not.
Someone said let freedom ring.
Yeah, never has been, never will be.
No. 7 years ago. I mean, forget about it, please.
Forget about it. Yeah, I think I don't have any other honorary mentions. The paper thing kind of annoyed me with Pink not signing the pledge, but I get it from like a teenager's perspective. I probably would have been the exact same way. Like, I'm not signing this shit. Like, come on, they can't tell me what to do. But
cool nickname though.
What?
Cool nickname though.
And that's the second thing that I figured out for the first time. watching this movie is that his name is Floyd, so they called him Pink, like Pink Floyd.
Too much
Oh,
pot
no.
smoking. Too much
I-
pot smoking.
That's 100% what it was, I think.
Chill on the reefer, as they say. And there's no hope with dope.
Slater, where's my drugs? It was. I
Oh my
love
God.
the quick
Do
with
that
the
episode, please.
Slater and O'Banion clearly hated each other. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you're talking about
supposedly
the
I
AC
read
Slater.
AC Slater. Who's better, AC Slater or this one?
I mean, look, I mean, that's
It's not a real question.
of all the stupid questions you ever asked.
That's the
number
worst one.
We know it's AC.
We know it's AC. Of course.
Please, come on.
Of course. Supposedly I read, speaking of hating each other, was that Jason London and Sean Andrews, who played Pickford, hated each other, and like I think there was word that there was fights on the set, so that's why they have like almost no lines together because they like refused.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
It's funny that let me just pull up her name real quick. Joey Lauren Adams
The best.
and Jason London were dating in this movie. And then in Mallrats, Jeremy London and Joey Lauren Adams were supposedly ex-lovers. Do you think that was like a reference in Mallrats to this movie? Or am I just looking too deep into it?
I don't know. It definitely could have been. I'm not sure.
And also, Jason London, 10 times better actor than Jeremy London.
It's unbelievable. What I mean, I knew definitely it was unbelievable the superiority one over the other is. I mean, Jeremy London stinks. I hope all the bad things in life happens to him. He wasted my time. I hate my time wasted, and he just stinks. Stinks, man. Jeez. What are we doing, casting directors?
I still think we were right when we said something along the lines of like they thought they were getting Jason, but they got Jeremy, and they were just like, he's probably decent.
I mean, I know they're identical twins, but their voice is exactly the same. Because as soon as he spoke in the movie, I was like, wow, that like, am I sure that it's not Jeremy London? Because yeah, he sounds exactly like him.
Yeah. Are we sure that they're actually twins and not the same person?
Maybe he changed his name just for Mallrats because he was like, listen, we got to pretend I have a twin or something because this is not it for me.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Very true. Wait, there was a thing in here. Hold on. Because you were talking about dating, and what the hell was it?
In this movie or in general?
No, like in real life, I don't want to waste too much more time. Oh, here we go. So you talk about like Joey Lauren Adams. She was dating Rory Cochrane, who was Slater during this film, and Tony was dating Parker Posey. Milla Jovovich and Sean Andrews eloped and got married in Vegas, but it got annulled because she was only 16.
Oh,
Yikes.
yikes.
Jeez.
Yikes. So there's your relationship update on Dazed and Confused. Where are we? Characters?
Yeah.
You want to do least favorite first?
You can do least favorite first.
All right. Anyone want to go first?
Give me Ben Affleck as
Oh,
O'Banion.
that's-
I'm sorry. I mean, you knew it was coming. How did you not know it was coming the second I opened my mouth? He was just such a prick in this movie, and it was unbearable. I couldn't take it anymore. This is one of those movies where you I know it's early in his career, but you like look at him in a whole new light because of this movie. He was just such an a-hole. And I know that's what the movie called for, but he just went above and beyond. And I wanted to just deliver one of these right right in his pie hole. So yeah, Ben Affleck, you get the worst actor for me.
He stunk, and it wasn't even just his character. It was just like I'm like, this is probably what really Ben Affleck is like in real life. I mean, you could see it. You see it at the Tom Brady roast. It's like this guy's fucking sucks. I don't know. He just annoyed me in this movie so much. He took it to the extreme. Everything about him. I don't know. Yeah, I understand. In what might have been one of his first roles, or early in his career, but man, he was like you said, he was unbearable in this movie. I hated him every time he was on the scene. I was like, get off. I was hoping he choked on that paint, but well, thank God we never saw him get into that because he really annoyed me.
There's a deleted scene where he came back after the paint, and it sucked.
Oh God.
I don't know. I don't know. He stunk in this movie. I'm not really a big Ben Affleck fan anyway, but I don't know.
He's no Matt Damon, we know that.
Well, that's not even fucking a question.
Yeah. There was something I read too that like apparently he did not get much of a boost after this to his career because everyone just assumed he was a huge asshole, and he might have been in real life, who knows? But yeah, a lot of casting directors did not like him after seeing this film.
Wow.
I just always and I don't love Family Guy or referencing it, but did you ever see the clip of them, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck writing Good Will Hunting?
No.
Oh my God, it's so funny. Matt Damon's like doing all the work and like typing or whatever. And he says to Ben Affleck something like, "What do you think we should do with this?" And Ben Affleck's laying on the couch and he just rips a fart. And that's it. So funny. Um, Robbie, you want to go next or
Sure, sure, sure.
go ahead?
I don't want anything else taken. Let me go with Darla Marks, Parker Posey, another one that just annoyed me in this movie. Uh, her hazing scenes were annoying. She kind of stunk to me. Um, I don't really know what else Parker Posey. I know she had a long career, but just something about a character annoyed me. I don't know. It was very annoying. Some of the things she was saying, the way she was acting, it was just very, very annoying. I think there was only like two people that super, super duper annoyed me in this movie, and it was Ben Affleck and Parker Posey. So those are my one and two. Um, yeah, I didn't like her character at all. Just turn me off. Like chill out with the catch up. I mean, catch up sucks anyway, so I'm glad they wasted it.
Well,
But I mean, she was annoying.
this is not a ketchup slander podcast, Robbie.
If you like catch up, you like Saddam Hussein, stuff like that. I mean, forget about it.
Scientifically proven.
Yeah, it's a fact. Two things you like in life: Hussein and ketchup.
And Heinz.
And Heinz.
Disagree. I saw all of them, so I'm gonna keep referencing them. There was a deleted scene where Mitch's sister and I, do you remember her name? What was her name? Oh, Jody. Jody and Christy, the blonde one, were like giving Parker Posey's character shit in the bathroom. They're like, ever since you came back from visiting your sister in college, you keep talking all this shit and like you have a fucking attitude. Like it was actually like pretty good. They should have left it in because she was coming off like a know-it-all.
Yeah, well, they needed more paddle scenes.
Maybe. I'm gonna go least favorite character. I mean, I'm gonna go with Mitch because I hate that nose scene that much. I really,
Wow.
really hate that nose scene. It really bothers me.
Was
Hey,
he in
I don't
anything
blame
else?
you.
Like, was he in anything else?
Not much. I was
Thank
looking
God.
at it,
He
and I
stopped.
think probably because of the nose.
And just his lack of charisma on screen.
Him and
Yeah,
Affleck really got it from this movie.
yeah.
The
Nah, he
nose.
was in some other stuff, but nothing. The only other movie that I've seen that I liked was another Linklater movie called Waking Life, and he's in that. He was actually pretty good in that one, to be fair to him. But yeah, he just annoyed me. You know what? He annoyed me how he ran. I don't know if you noticed that. He ran like very loosey goosey.
He had a cannon now.
Allegedly.
One thing I really enjoyed too, quickly, should have been like a favorite scene, was I think it was Adam Goldberg discussing Gerald Ford's head injuries, as far as like I was like, that's like, I never noticed that, especially with like CTE coming around, being so prominent now. I was like, that's awesome. That's funny.
Yeah.
Plus Gerald Ford stunk. That's your guy?
Me? No.
You're
It
Ford.
looked like
Yeah,
he
I thought
was
you
your
said you're a
guy.
Ford guy.
No.
You said you were a Ford guy before this podcast, and
I
I'm not
never
the
said
car.
that. I'm not. I'm neither a president or automobile Ford guy.
Oh, sorry. I think you said Nixon. You're a Nixon guy.
I like
Big Watergate fan.
right. I like Ford Perfect. I like that
What's that?
from science fiction shit.
Oh,
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's what it's from.
never seen it.
It's good. We should watch it. Wait, where are we at? Ani Menches? If
Your
there
love
are
for
any?
Nixon.
Nixon? Ani
Your love
Mensch.
for Nixon.
Ani Mensch me for loving Nixon.
I mean, too many to
Else?
name for me in this one, so I'll let you guys take it.
Give me the football coach.
Yeah.
Oh, but give me his Ford Bronco.
Oh, give me that.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Loved it.
Loved
Hated him.
Yeah.
Loved the Bronco.
You're in
Guy
need serious attitude adjustment, young man.
had a lot of teeth.
Yeah.
A lot of teeth.
Someone said the second best Bronco behind the Jews.
I love those old Broncos. And can we also talk just generally the cars in this film? Top notch.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I always
But
wanted to
also,
get
I don't
one of
think
those
a bunch of
Broncos.
high school kids had so many sick cars. I think that was a little much.
Well, I mean, cars were like fucking $38 back then, so maybe they did.
That's true.
What's his name's dad? Just go away. Let the kids enjoy themselves. But also, I probably do the same thing. I don't want anybody ruining my house.
That's true. How could you, but also, I mean, how could you not think that your 17-year-old son or daughter would have at least a small party when you're
Last day of
leaving on the
school.
last day of school?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Somebody I knew a long time ago. I think he's far gone. He's far gone. I don't know what happened to him. But he had a party when his parents weren't home. What a bash. What a bash.
Someone said one of the best.
Some would say the best ever.
Thanks
I
for
don't know
the
who he is
invite.
anymore. I don't know who that guy is, but I knew him one time. Rest in peace to him.
He's up there with OJ now.
Wait, I feel like I had an Ani mention now. Oh, like you have a number of people name. I might get a couple here, but like most of the other dudes, like kind of all suck. Like your namesake Benny. I mean we
He
already
was the
called
worst.
out
He was
Benny.
the worst.
Yo, there's
Hauser.
a deleted scene with Benny, and he says some very racist things.
Yeah.
And I was like,
geez.
what the hell? Like, I'm glad they cut it because it came out of nowhere. Like, it wasn't his character in the film.
The shoe fits.
Yeah.
Same namesake. The shoe
Wow.
fits.
That's right. Is that who you were gonna kind of like talk about, Benny? Like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah. I
character?
mean, I don't even want to go into all the people that I hated in this movie. We could just move on. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you could point at a name on this list, and I probably can give you 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, most of the dudes, other than a handful, were not my favorite.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then who were your favorite characters?
You're
Start
up.
us off, babe.
Wait, I went last?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I it's kind of tough, honestly, to pick. I think I'll just go with Pink with you know, Randall Floyd. He was the best of that bunch, pretty
Best of the
much.
worst.
Best of the worst. He still kind of annoyed me, but but the annoyance was like me being an old man and him being a cocky teenager. Like I
Yeah.
was, like I said before, like I definitely would have been like, I'm not signing coach's
Yeah,
stupid thing. I'll do what I want. Ugh.
Yeah, you could see yourself making that stand.
Yeah, like just
Annoyingly.
yeah. Oh, totally. Um, but yeah, I mean, he was the best of the worst for me. Um, I liked a number of other characters, but some of them are problematic in other ways. So I'll just go with Pink. That's my choice.
I was reading up on IMDb before this that being that his name is Randall Floyd, they nicknamed him Pink because of Pink Floyd.
Wait, really?
That's what I read. Yeah,
Wow, that makes sense.
yeah, because
Oh,
Pink
wow.
Floyd, Pink Floyd musicians.
No,
Yeah. Oh,
I
the
never heard of him.
band. That's right.
Yeah, the band Pink Floyd.
What'd they
Wall,
do?
right? His name was Randall Floyd, so they just said, "Hey, last name Floyd. Let's nickname him Pink Floyd, the band."
Right. And they
But
were very popular in the 70s. That makes sense.
Yeah, if
over
you
my
put like
head.
Wizard of Oz on and the Dark Side of the Moon, it like
Yeah.
simultaneously
Lines
plays
up.
together. Yeah,
Do you
Pink
guys ever
Floyd.
do that?
Yes.
I didn't.
I did.
Wizard of Oz scared me too much.
It's fair. It's a weirdo movie.
Yeah.
Return to Oz was fucked up.
I never seen that either. No way.
Don't watch it.
Let me go with Michelle Burke as Jodie Kramer as my favorite
Really?
character in this movie. Yeah, I thought she was. I really enjoyed
Oh,
her. Besides her making out with another person's significant other. Other than that, I mean, I really just enjoyed her character. She had just a little bit of depth to it. She, you know, yeah, she participated in the hazing, but she wasn't really all about it. I just liked her compassion for the younger girls in the movie. I love her brother or whatnot. I don't know, just something about her character I really enjoyed, and I mean, I'm not gonna say that. I mean, her in those tight jeans, forget about it, please. My 1970s plum was exploding, but other than that, I mean, I don't know. I just liked her character. Out of all the, you know, there's not really a lot of redeeming qualities in a lot of these characters in this movie. They're teenage douchebags, but I feel like she had the most compassion for the characters in this movie, and I just thought she played a good part. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed her character.
For me, it's gonna be Carl's mom for pulling the shoddy on O'Bannon. I mean, come on, please. That was the highlight of the movie for me. She killed it. So congrats to her for making O'Bannon piss in his pants a little bit.
loved it. The best.
I like for her to pull the same shotgun on Ben Affleck and J-Lo.
Heard they broke up. What a shame.
Oh man, that's terrible. I really
Too bad.
enjoy J-Lo.
Ani Menches.
McConaughey, Wooderson, yeah, I get it. I get it. I want to hear it. I understand it. I'm all about it. I don't like the underage and all their stuff, but I mean the lines. All right, all right. Be a lot cooler if you did. I mean, forget about it. I mean, just put him on the map. He was a superstar. You could see. Probably not. I'm saying that now in 2020 hindsight. But I mean, iconic. You think of this movie, you think of McConaughey, and he played it so good. Stoner. I'm sure he was actually high on set, but he was good. It's great. It's McConaughey.
You take the good, you take the bad, you take the McConaughey.
That's it. What do you got? What do you got?
The facts of life.
The facts of
Thank you.
McConaughey, I don't know.
The fuck? How long do you want to say it for before somebody answers me?
Well, Benny was gonna answer you.
Yeah, he has no idea what the facts of life. He was too busy putting kids in lockers.
Yeah. Maybe that's why Benny doesn't like this movie, because he feels bad for all
What
the
he did.
bullying
Guilt.
he did.
Classic switcheroo with the guilt trip.
Switcheroo.
That's what he did.
I should have picked. I wanted to pick him as my favorite, but Ani Mensch to Mike Newhouse, Adam Goldberg. Loved him. What a shame.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah, I like that crew was good with him, Tony Rapp, and Marissa Ribisi. I like that crew, and it was another reason why I like Pink a lot is because he was cool with them too. You know, he wasn't just like, I can only hang out with the jocks,
kids.
like,
Yeah.
you know, that was I was by far or let me rephrase, I was far from being one of the cool kids, one of the jocks, but I did like hang out with some of the cool kids. I was, you know, a satellite on their orbit. So I appreciate anyone that, you know, would come down to the depths of geekiness and hang out with the nerds.
I hear you.
Wonder if is that girl Marissa Ribisi related to Giovanni Ribisi?
Is this a joke or are you really
I-
asking?
I don't think so.
No, I was asking seriously.
Oh, yes, twin sister.
We gotta come on. Let's wrap this up, please.
It is his twin sister. Seriously.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Their
I think
mother
you
was
was
like
fucking
an
with me.
No, seriously.
The
Oh,
mother's an actress too, I think.
You mother.
yeah, it was
Uh,
being
They're big Scientologists. Big Scientologists.
Which I don't
much.
like.
Yeah, me either.
She was married to Beck for a long time.
Was she?
Yeah.
They don't even. I mean, that's why I was like, is it true?
If you
Because they
if
didn't
you
look
look
like-
at it, if you look at her now, I mean, like now that you know that information is true, and you look at her, you could see it a little bit in her face.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had no idea I was being serious.
Oh, I thought you were joking. No, yeah, definitely. Sister. Couple other Ani mentions I just want to make. Joy Lauren Adams, love her, obviously. And Milla Jovovich, also love her. But did you guys ever see Swingers? Either one of you? John
Yeah,
Favreau?
I did.
Did you recognize Christy from the in Swingers to who she was in this film? The blonde
It's
girl.
been so long for me.
Okay. Because when I was watching it this time, I was like, where the fuck do I know this girl from? And I was trying to figure out for the longest time, and then I just looked it up, and she was from that. And I forget now what her name is in this film, but that's what she's from. She's the waitress in Swingers.
Kay
Whatever.
Faulkner?
Wait, where the hell?
No. Yeah. I don't know.
No, Dina Martin. Siobhan. Anyway. Any other Ani mentions from anybody?
Huh?
Adam Goldberg would have been mine.
No.
Right. So we do it every week. How would you make this film better?
Shave off 20 minutes of hazing. Give me a tight 120 on this movie.
Fair. Yeah, I said it before. I think you could show like 5 minutes of hazing and still get the same effect that the seniors were beating up on the freshmen or emotionally hazing them like the girls, and you wouldn't have to be uncomfortable for 20 minutes.
To make the movie better, make more hazing.
Yeah.
More embarrassing the young women in this. More ketchup being spilled. I I was hoping that there was a shortage in catch up after this movie, but I guess not. Um, no, yeah, I agree. I think that there was some uncomfortable stuff, especially with the women hazing stuff like that. That was annoying. Plus, I mean, lay off on the oatmeal. Ridiculous. Get that out of somebody's hair. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And less Ben Affleck. Sorry, less Ben Affleck. Disgusting. Hate Ben Affleck.
If it makes you feel better, he shattered his ankle when he smashed the paddle in that scene.
Did he really?
That's what I mean, according to the internet, that's what they said.
Wow, internet's never wrong.
Never wrong. It's true.
I mean, bonus points if he made it through that scene.
Well, that's what it said. He shattered his ankle, but then completed the scene anyway. Good for him.
Props.
Shout out to Affleck.
Yeah. No, we all turned around on him. Just
Oh
now.
yeah,
Yeah,
back.
I'm
I'm back on Ben.
Back on Ben.
Maybe it's just a name I don't like.
Maybe
Ben.
Benny Affleck.
Yeah.
This is
I
unfair.
just don't like the
I
fucking
mean, it
name.
just you think you're old enough where the hazing stops. You think you made it past it, and it never ends. It
Nah.
never ends.
Never.
So I think I just saw a little single tear come out.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you guys. Like, maybe shave a little off the hazing, but it's funny because Robbie. I mean, I know we were teenagers. It didn't bother me like at all. Back when I first saw it, I was just like, yeah, all right, that's fairly normal.
Yeah, it did sound. I'm like, there was something that's like, I feel like, I don't know when it stopped, but I feel like our time period was still hazing and things like I said with the freshman Friday and stuff like that,
Yeah.
even with playing football and stuff like that, and nothing was like no broomsticks up my butt or anything like that. But
No.
I mean, there was something I just never thought or wanted to do to somebody. I don't know. I guess it's a different time frame. I mean, I feel like your class had a bunch of lunatics in it. So there was a couple of lunatics that we played with that were just a little crazy. No hazing or anything like that, but
Yeah,
definitely scared of them and not wanting to say a word.
Oh yeah,
Some big boys.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was probably like whenever like early 2000s ish when some of like some kids like got like I think some of them died from hazing and like stuff like that it kind of like at least around here like seems like it cooled down a little bit where people don't put up with that shit.
I never got the appeal of doing something like that. I don't know. I just never thought of it. I was too busy picking up people's garbage pails and putting them into the next, the
Stratosphere.
the next county over. I mean, that's fun to me. Degrading somebody and making them feel like shit is not something that really tickled my fancy.
Yeah. Whatever. I do have a way to make it better. And I mean, I feel like in this one, it would have went, it would go a long way. So every week we cast Matt Damon and we call it working overtime. So we either make up a role or recast a role that already exists with our favorite actor, Matt Damon. Does anyone want to, well, basically, Benny, do you want to start?
Sure. There's no save in this movie for me, so I'm
Wow.
gonna do what's called a classic double recast. Okay, hear me out. Matt Damon is the son of the woman that was smoking. Okay. And she says, we get a whole scene of this, and then we even get a little flash forward at the end. She says, it's fine. I smoked with him, and he turned out, look at how handsome he is. He's beautiful. Flash forward, that baby that comes out, Jesse Plemons.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
There you go. And it's don't smoke. You'll regret it.
Clemens,
Jesse
fantastic
catching
actor.
strays.
Well, everybody says he looks like the knockoff Matt Damon. So there you go. Costco Matt Damon.
I'm pleased. This Costco's the best. Like a Lidl Matt Damon.
Aldi Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. There's a number of people I want to recast, but I'm gonna go with Mitch. So give me a young, just long hair, handsome, not too bulked up. I want a skinny, svelte Matt Damon as Mitch, and maybe he can run and not hold his nose better than what Mitch did.
Love it.
Yeah, nothing crazy for me. Just give me a young, strong, fresh out of high school, uh, gorgeous locks, 1970s vibing, probably a couple of Marlboro Reds stuffed in his white t-shirt rolled up, maybe a couple of J Bones in his ear. Give me Matt Damon as O'Banion, get Ben Affleck out of this movie completely, but give me a softer, gentler O'Banion, who's just a friend for everybody, loves everybody, you know, jumps in front of a couple paddles for the boys, saves the young kids, just teaches them the ways of the world. Get Ben Affleck as far away from this movie as possible. Maybe send him. I mean, please, I wish he would have died in Armageddon. We never had to see him again in real life. Other than that, I don't want to see Ben Affleck ever again. He stinks. I can't stand him. Yeah, this movie would have been so much better with Matt Damon in it. I mean, and you see it in a couple of years, 4 years later, with Good Will Hunting, star of the show. Forget about Ben Affleck afterthought.
Nice. Good choice. Anything else anyone wants to say about Dazed and Confused?
I'm glad I'll never have to watch that movie again. It's never going to be on one of our polls again, and I'm never going to have to deal with it again.
Because, goodness gracious, as I say, who hurt you?
A lot of people.
Several older boys in school.
Oh my God, cuz I would have known. I would have came in and saved you.
That's all right. I wear my I suffered in silence.
Never, you, as they say, as a fan of a pro sports team, you never walk alone. My team.
Love it. I love it. You always the number one fan of that sports team.
That's my team, as they say, Liverpool. Love it.
Us, our team.
Our team.
Well, Benny, just so you know, my next birthday, this is what we're gonna watch.
Good. I'll have a whole year to write a whole roast on this movie.
Yeah. So yeah, if no one has anything else, send us an email. Let us know what you thought about Dazed and Confused. Watch it. Trust me. It's not as good as you remember, but it's still good.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah, prove Ben wrong. Everyone else does. I love you, Ben. I'm just joking.
Unfair.
It was sitting there. I had to.
I know. You had to take a paddle and swing for the fences.
FAH space
Q.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening. We appreciate all the support. Again, follow us on all the things. I guess that's it. Robbie, tell him good night.
Good night, O'Banion. Hope there was lead in that paint, and you developed a serious strain of cancer and went out quick.
Stay tuned next week for our Ben Affleck movie marathon.
Oh, we
Argo
should.
1, Argo 2, Argo fuck yourself.
When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in. My wife says, "No, Gabriel, leave." I said, "No, let the boy watch. Let the boy watch. He needs to learn the way I learned from my father, the way he learned."